'Tis the season to be frightening, terrifying. Also the season for Ugg Boots, women and tiny pumpkins. What's that smell? Oh, is that autumn? Is that candy? Is that... What the fuck coffee do white women in Uggs love so much?
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Oh, man, I love that.
I think it's disgusting.
I usually get the grande.
Unless you want your hips to shake. Am I right? We're talking a little bit of Halloween. We are talking about one of our favorite Halloweens as children, our memories with that. It involves ghosts and ghouls. The time of year, the tradition of Halloween. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain in the 8th century. Did you guys know that?
Yes, from the Halloween tree that came out a long time ago.
Is that a Charlie Brown episode?
No, that's a Gene Roddenberry cartoon, The Halloween Tree.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he did one.
Yeah, it was narrated by Leonard Nimoy.
Of course.
A cartoon.
That checks out. And then also back in the 8th century, fucking assholes that gave out peppermints and candy corn got their eggs or huts or whatever the fuck, the hole that you live in, filled with eggs. You bitches. But I think we're going to start off a little bit. Where do we want to start on this spooky episode?
Do we want to talk about our first costumes, maybe?
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh.
At least the ones that you remember the most.
Yeah. Oscar the Grouch, the plastic face mask, the suspenders with the Mylar Oscar the garbage can that you would wear, and you could pretend that you were in the garbage, even though the plastic face mask had the garbage can top on it, so no one really knew you were a real garbage can, but it was just fun to be in the corner pretending that you're a garbage can until somebody threw some shit in there on top of you, and then you're really fucked.
Yeah, and then you just turn and be like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, that's Oscar the Grouch. I think my favorite costume, or the one that always pops in my head, is one that my mom made. And it was a Ninja Turtle costume. And what I would do every year, because all I ever wanted to be was the Ninja Turtles. And I knew that if I changed which Ninja Turtle I wanted to be, I would get more toys, like to get, the size or the nunchucks or whatnot. So we created this cardboard cutout of like a turtle shell and put 2 strings in it, so it would just go over my shoulders, and I'd wear a green sweater, and then all I would have to do is just put a bandana over my head, and that was it. Yeah. And where the belt was, how they have their letters of their names on there, all we would have to do is we would take a piece of Velcro.
Yeah.
Or we would just tape it on. You take the letter, tape it on. Oh, this year I'm Leonardo. Oh, this year I'm Raphael. I used that fucking thing probably throughout my whole childhood. The only time that someone ended up breaking it, and then I had to go as a Ninja Turtle, but all I had was a fucking Michigan State sweater and green sweatpants. So that Halloween was ruined. But if I got famous or something like that, I would probably either help my brother, or if I had enough money, hire a hitman. I'm just kidding. That was a dumb joke.
No, sometimes I wanted to do that too. A lot of those times were during Halloween, a holiday when I was a kid, because he was the one that took me trick-or-treating. And he was the one in charge of taking me around the houses and stuff. So, yeah, we had some great times. We also had some bad times where, I wanted a hitman for his ass too. But you know how it is, Aaron.
My older brother, he was supposed to take us out, and he would just end up losing us. And then we would be walking around, and then we'd have like fucking people come up to us and, wonder where our parents are, but didn't really care because they were just kind of walking around drinking, a little bit of rum or whiskey in their fucking coffee cups.
The parents were, or your brother?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Around us. Oh yeah. No, this is suburbs. This is literally the white women Instagram, but in the 90s. And everyone's walking around and drinking their hot cocoa.
Jeans. Yeah.
Did they have the nice apple cider?
Apple cider mixed with whiskey. It was usually just alcohol because, they have kids, and this is... I wouldn't do this with my kids. And I thought about it, now that I have Annie and we could walk around and kind of sip on, schnapps or whatnot.
Moscow Mule and a scone.
Yeah, exactly. And it just didn't make sense, but that was basically our neighborhood was just a bunch of fucking rich. My dad and my family, we never came from wealth. We got rich all of a sudden, and they're trash. You know, my family is trash. Is this making sense? It's not like my immediate family, but everyone else on the outside, they're all trash.
You don't have to explain shit to me.
Glitched out.
And so it's like new money. It's new money type shit. They don't know what to do. It's like, oh, I got money. Here we go. Throw.
Yeah.
And now there is no money.
In our neighborhood, John, you know what we call that? Hood rich.
Yeah,
Hood rich.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what that means, Aaron?
Yes, I do, because that's what my
There you
my
go.
dad was.
Yeah. You know what I just thought?
Yeah.
Homeless people during Halloween. You think that's like special holiday for them because they don't even have to dress up. They can just like go with their bags, get canned. Too much.
It depends on what part of.
I mean, how would you
the
know?
country you're in.
You can go. That's what I'm saying.
There's ways you can know. There's
No,
definitely
wait,
ways you can know.
follow me. You can go. You can randomly knock on strangers' doors, and it doesn't have to be during the day. And you can just ask for food, and they won't even question it. They'll be like, "Oh, here you go."
Or put the bowl out. Some people leave the bowl out
Yeah.
in the front, and because we've had that happen where we've left the bowl out, and we're just like, "Don't knock on the door, have your way with the candy." And we've come outside, the bowl is halfway down the block, the chair's been stolen.
Think about it. If you're homeless, you're cleaning up that night. You just swooping all the candy and just beating up all the little kids.
I'll be honest with you, if they're in the neighborhood that I live in, like shit doesn't go down, but it I guess goes down more than it should. And I don't think there would be any homeless I could say that honestly, that no homeless person would fuck with another kid's money making Halloween, dressing up and going around. I don't think they do that.
I would.
think they have actual these guys, or at least the ones. Anyways, Halloween.
Halloween, we're back. So, hey, let me ask you guys this. What's your favorite, since we talked about costumes and stuff like that, which I got to tell you one more costume. My mom, I wanted to go as the Joker one Halloween, and my mom gave me an oversized coat that my dad wore, suit jacket, and painted my face white with two rosy... I look like a mime more than I look like the Joker with a bowler hat. And she's like, look, there's a Joker right there. I was like, no, this is not good. And I remember going out as a child trying to tell people, oh, I'm a Joker. I'm the Joker. I'm the Joker. And I look like a character from Dragon Ball Z.
Jesus.
It was just all bad. It was all bad. So that was another Halloween costume that I wore. It was bad, but I wanted to ask you guys, as far as Halloween, what was your favorite haunted house that you went to, or your favorite haunted experience for Halloween? Because we used to go to the nature trail at Belle Isle. That was the Halloween event for us, going to that nature trail and having people jump out at you while you're walking the trail in different costumes and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh, man.
Man, you had a good childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't do haunted houses now. I haven't done haunted houses since then. I jumped on my grandmother's back. She used to give me a hard time about that because I jumped on her back and I rode her out of the haunted house, and she would always get, every time Halloween come around, Jonathan, you remember that time you jumped on my back? I was like,
I didn't go to many haunted houses, but my damn neighborhood was pretty scary at night. That was pretty much a haunted neighborhood, especially trick-or-treating back in the 90s. Even though everybody knew each other in a collective neighborhood unit back in those days, everybody knew each other. Like, if you did something wrong down the street, about 3 moms before you even got to your house would spank your ass. That's how it was back in my day.
Well, I didn't do haunted houses when I was a kid. Fuck that shit.
Me either.
I don't understand. Life is scary enough. I don't want to be scared again.
That and roller coasters, I don't do them. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So the one time I did go was I was dating this girl. I can't honestly remember her name. And it was like high school. And it was like you were walking around and it was kind of like a cornfield one. Mm-hmm. And we're walking around. All I can remember about this girl too is that she loved cheese. I don't know, but she would talk to me about like Munster and Colby. And like at first I didn't really know. I thought these were like names for her cats or something like that. And then I realized, no, she legitimately is just obsessed about cheese. Anyways, that's besides the point. We were walking, and this is basically when the relationship kind of ended.
Oh, that's when
we're walking and we're going through, and, we're getting scared and everything. She's holding my arm. She's like, make sure they don't, trying to be cute. But like, I've always been the type of person where I'm like, don't fucking act. Like, just, be real. If it's scary, you can hold me, but if you're gonna, like, whatever. And I remember kind of, like, holding her. I'm like, it's okay, like, kind of being sarcastic with her. Then all of a sudden, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface comes out with a fucking chainsaw, and I book it and fucking leave her ass behind. And she's screaming for me, and I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And run right out the fucking door. Because we were probably, there were like 3 other people that pop out, and they just see me run. So she's left in there by herself, and I was like, fuck this cheese girl. I don't want anything to do with that.
Scared the tough guy Aaron out of you, huh?
Oh yeah,
you're pretty tough.
Not back then, man.
That's funny, man. Like I could not take a date to anything like that.
Oh no,
I just
dude.
couldn't, because I know how much of a pussy I am.
Yep.
So I know that if I'm put into a situation, I'm like Scooby-Doo, man. I'm big, but I'm afraid of everything.
Yeah,
so
if I get scared, the first thing I do is fucking fart. I don't know what it is. It's a fear tactic. It's like, you're gonna smell that, you're gonna run away. The second story that I had is kind of spooky because it's real, and it kind of took place college. I wasn't going out trying to get candy anymore, but we would go to these haunted places, which I want to do an episode on something like this. But ghost hunting, I actually was thoroughly involved with a ghost hunting group in Michigan. We would go around to some abandoned places and whatnot, and they kind of said that I was a rebel when it came to ghost hunting, which is just me, and I'm a virgin extra, I guess.
Yeah.
What? How do you get affiliated with these things, man? What?
I just thought it was fucking cool. I always loved it. I was always looking up haunted houses, and the only thing I ever had to do was get blessed by a priest before I came home. That was like the thing my mom wanted me to do. Anytime I went into an actual haunted area or something that had spirits. And I do want to try to find this picture, but we went into this house on Halloween, and it's called the Albrecht House. Anyone that's in Michigan that kind of knows where it's at, 25 and Gratiot, this place is abandoned. Supposedly, this person killed his family and then committed suicide. Hid their bodies in a well, and there is a well there. So we had gone there and kind of went through and whatnot. I remember specifically one time when I had gone there with one of my buddies who actually recently passed away. We had gone in there, and he had kicked over a chair that was in the house, and then we come back down, and none of the cupboards were open when we first went up there, and everything was open when we came back downstairs. And I fucking ran out of there, just like I did with the cheese girl, screaming my ass off. And then we ended up going back to that house again with this team that I had, and I remember I was the first one up with the flashlight walking, and all I could see were these fucking shadows. No one else had a flashlight behind me. I could just see shadows as I'm walking forward, and it looked like people running across. So it's like,
God.
I've done a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of fucked up shit when it came to the ghost hunting stuff. Some of it I always thought could just be, tricking my mind. And we always did this shit too. The big ones we always did around Halloween.
Yeah.
And I remember the one time me and my buddy went there, and that happened. And I'm pretty sure the ghost busting thing happened before that, but when he kicked it over and we came back to anytime you go to an abandoned house and there's just a fucking chair anywhere that's abandoned and there's just a chair sitting there, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't go near it.
I'm black, so I'm definitely not going to do that.
So you can't even sit in it? You can't do shit? You just...
Nope.
Leave it alone.
Supposedly I think my mom was the one that told me me this. That's the spirit of the house that is watching over it or whatnot. You do that, you interrupt that, you're done.
You're toast. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were my two, and then there was also the Morrow Road. If you're from Michigan, you know the history of Morrow Road.
Yeah.
And yeah, we would just do this shit on spooky nights, fucking full moons and whatnot. I remember seeing a black cat that night walking by. I remember seeing something. No one believed me. And I fucking, seriously terrifying. I saw something that night. I don't remember what I saw now, but I remember out of body crying. Fucking crying.
Yeah.
And I am very tough, just like Don said. These stories make me not so tough.
I was going to say, you were branded the rebel of the group. You're doing the most
because
running.
my methods were too extreme.
Yeah. But hey, have you guys thought about, since we're talking about Halloween memories, costumes, haunted locations, what are your favorite Halloween movies? Or movies that they didn't necessarily come out on Halloween, but they have a horror element to them that would be Halloween-esque.
Ooh, okay, I'll throw them out there. I love fall. I love Halloween. The one that's recent is called Witch.
Oh yeah, the Vavitch.
Yeah, the Vavitch. Yeah, dude, that's terrifying. I thought that was well done.
Black Phillip.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
And then the Crucible is the other one.
The Crucible is good.
Yeah.
The Crucible is good. Yeah. I remember we had to do the play a long time ago.
You did the play?
Yeah.
I would have loved to have done the play for You know what we did? We fucking did Mozart. We did this Mozart play. I think it was Ears for Mozart or something, or, not Mozart, Beethoven, because Beethoven's deaf as fuck, but it was in poor taste, where these mice that are watching him create these crazy musical numbers and symphonies and whatnot, and we're just there shitting all over his stuff. I can't remember the complete play. I was like mouse number 50 or whatever, scurrying around and had to do singing and whatnot and fucking dancing and shit, and then all of a sudden he fucking dies.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, we only did so many plays, man, but the Crucible I definitely remember.
That would have been awesome. That would have been my dream.
The fuck is the Crucible?
Are you kidding me?
I heard of it.
It's a book. Well, it's a play. It's a movie. Daniel Day-Lewis, Winona Ryder. Basically, the group of witches starts blaming people, saying that they're taken over by, the devil.
Yeah.
Salem witch trials is basically what the Crucible is about.
Daniel Day-Lewis is in it? Wow, that
blaming
sounds really good.
Beautiful, empathic women of witchcraft, and then fucking hanging or burning them. Mostly burning or putting large rocks on them.
If they float, they're a witch. If they drown, they died a Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much what it was.
I gotta watch that. That sounds...
Yeah.
When did that come out?
That was in the 90s. It's a really good movie. It's one of my favorites.
What's your go-to Halloween movie?
So, I do have... I had said earlier one film, but it's I don't really have a go-to. Since I have kids now, the go-to for us is always... It's a Christmas movie, but it has a little bit of Halloween. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Every white woman from age, 18 to 30 got a goddamn Nightmare Before tattoo.
But my kids love it. My kids absolutely love it. And my daughter will probably get one of those tattoos.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy because you can find Nightmare Before Christmas stuff at any Hot Topic store all year round.
But when it comes to Halloween, it's the same thing with Christmas. Nowadays, it's more for the kids. And until they get a little bit older and are able to accept the fact that they're going to go on a couple B&Es with their old man, check out abandoned houses and ghosts and shit.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It is so much fun.
But it's Halloween.
Yeah, there we go.
Who cares about black licorice? Not me. I hate it.
No,
I despise black
have
licorice.
the
fucking
Snickers.
candy corn.
You have to have the Snickers. You gotta have the Twix. You gotta have the Skittles. Like the standards,
Sweet
man.
tarts. Fuck off. I loved all things sour.
That was at the bottom of my bag. Did you guys do like trades with other kids, like for candy?
No.
Oh,
What
I
we
did.
did was we poured it out. We went through our candy. But actually, yeah, me and my brothers, we did trade sometimes.
There you
But
go.
for the most part, I didn't want anyone touching my shit. So we would pour it out in our own little area, and we would try to steal each other's candy, and then we'd end up like in a fist fight or something. So
Good times.
yeah, no, it was fucking great time. Actually, I remember one Halloween, it was like the last one that I went trick-or-treating. I think it was 2000. And yes, I was like a freshman in high school, but I remember hearing my mom had bought Lord of the Rings, the old like 1980s movie by Ralph Bakshi. And we watched that because we knew that the Elijah Wood Lord of the Rings movie was going to be coming out.
Oh, okay.
So that was actually one memory and I don't even remember what I dressed up as. I think I was just like a homeless guy. That was my issue, was that when I was a kid, it was awesome. But then as I grew older, I just didn't care anymore. Life had fucking hit hard. 1996 was like it for me. Yeah, I just didn't give a shit anymore. I just wanted candy.
Yeah, as much as I like the idea of dressing up, when I was a kid, I was a Ninja Turtle, just like all you guys. I had the garbage dyed green for a shell, it was crazy. I had a stick, and I had the turtle mask. I was always Donatello. I was a clown pirate, but it looked more like Heath Ledger's Joker almost. I had the fucking bandana, and a plastic sword. So I don't know why I was a clown and a pirate. I think I was just mixing in costumes at that point.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I was just a garbage man. And I don't mean like a guy who collects garbage, but I was like covered in garbage bags. I was human garbage. But it was easier to collect candies because when my bag filled up, I just took a piece of my garbage bag off my body, and that became my candy bag. But again, I was poor, so I didn't really mind. I would use the candy. It was like lunch for me the next day. Just candy, 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 candy.
Well, I was going to say, there's we all have scars from certain things. I actually have a small scar on my hand from when I cut my hand carving a pumpkin.
Carving those pumpkins were a pain in the ass. As much as I like the end result of seeing a pumpkin and then putting a candle in it, and that was fucking great to look at. They're a pain in the ass, gutting all those pumpkin guts, and I don't know. I didn't really see the appeal of it.
That's how you make the pumpkin spice, though, man. You fucking take the pumpkin out and you pour it out, ooze it out its fucking backside.
I do love my grande pumpkin spice lattes.
Fuck pumpkin spice and fuck.
You bite your motherfucking tongue, and I didn't even get to my movies. God damn it. A fucking Halloween movie that I like, which I said really isn't a Halloween movie, is American Psycho with fucking William Dafoe and of course Christian Bale before he became Batman.
Wait. Willem Dafoe is why is
He's
that
not the main character. He plays a character. He's the detective. Is hot on the trails of Christian Bale's character, Patrick Bateman. Do you remember that? See, it's so many people in this movie.
Okay, then I have to rewatch American Psycho because I do now. Okay, in the office scene.
And this is my first time really seeing Christian Bale. This is what, 99.
Mm-hmm.
So this film blew me away, and it was a little scary, but not scary because I was a teenager at that time. But it's on the fringe of becoming like either it's a slasher film that can be considered a Halloween film, or it's more of a thriller. I consider it a scary movie. And the one from my childhood is Nightmare on Elm Street that came out in 1984. Yeah, those are my two. Nightmare on Elm Street and American Psycho. But the new ones, the new horror movies that I've seen, which aren't really horror, but I would say Get Out. That's one that I really like. I would say Sixth Sense is another like honorable mention, which is not really new. It's 20 years old, more than 20 years old. The last scary movie I saw was Hereditary. That was decent. I like that. I recommend that one.
That one just had me down.
Now that I like that better than The Witch. The Witch was fine. It was based off like these old writings, right? Like from a pilgrim. Is that right, Aaron?
Yeah, like Quakers or something, some crazy religious sect, but
Puritans.
Puritans. Even more pure than Puritans, and that's why they separated.
Yeah.
The guy who plays the dad, he was in Game of Thrones. I remember him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in Game of Thrones, and he's in this new movie called The Green Knight.
Halloween movies for me are weird. Like, as a kid, you had different Halloween specials and whatnot that I would get excited for every year, similar to, like, the California Raisin special at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
There were certain ones that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just always remembered that I loved the season. And maybe as like the childhood memories of that season are a little bit brighter, but I remember, you know, the leaves changing, the oranges, the reds and all that stuff just being synonymous with fall. But now it's, you know, it's like rain every year since my kids have been born. It's rained or been freezing ass cold. And so the real thing that we need to be scared of instead of Halloween is climate change.
Absolutely. And coming from someone who's in California where the whole state is burning, it is a legitimate fear. So,
But A Nightmare Before Christmas, we can all agree that's like the standard now that comes on every goddamn Halloween.
I fucking hate to say, but yeah, yes.
It should be Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was a much better film to me.
But it's not kid oriented though.
And what
It's not.
determines a Halloween film? Is it just being scared? Because a Halloween film, I'm trying to think. There is one in my head where I'm like, this is a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Because it's based around Hocus Pocus is
Hocus
one, which
Pocus
is very good.
is-
That
yes,
is strictly a Halloween movie. Because if we're talking,
Is the
And
Craft.
they're doing another one.
The Craft is not a Halloween movie. So like The Crucible, I would say that's not a Halloween movie. American Psycho, your choice. That choice.
It's probably not, but
Yeah, and so it's like things that are based around that season that envelop what Halloween is, I guess, in a sense. Like mine, the Witch and The Crucible, that's not really Halloween.
we didn't even say the obvious one. Halloween, Michael Myers.
Yeah, well, you got that. What about Casper that came out?
What, the movie about the kid that's dead?
Christina Ricci?
No, if I'm not allowed to say pepperoni and pineapple on my pizza, then we're not going to fucking say Casper.
Bullshit.
The thing that's fucked up is that it's a fucking child. It's a child that's dead.
Died from the flu, actually.
But who dresses like Casper at Halloween?
White people.
Dress up like Casper for Halloween, they'll think you're in the Klan. Are you kidding?
Exactly.
Right, exactly. All the movies that we mentioned, you can dress up as someone from that movie, like a character, right?
Well, yeah, you can
I
dress,
can dress up like a yuppie and have, like, I don't know, a knife. And,
like in a fucking woman's head in an ice bag or something with you.
There you
I
go.
mean, actually, you could do Casper with those new costumes that come out, those inflatable costumes that they have.
All right.
You could do that.
Then you would just look like a fucking sperm.
You would look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow
You
Man,
could.
if anything.
It's like a double costume. You get more for your value, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why aren't we talking about like the sexy costumes? And it's not just, it's mostly women that have to wear that shit.
That's when we got
Yeah.
older. Oh,
but you
man.
realize it's like everything's either you're a sexy Native American or a sexy cowboy or a...
And they all have fingerless gloves.
Yep.
Like,
I love
what
it.
the fuck is that all about? No,
Man.
especially for these kids. These kids,
Yeah, dude,
like,
I got a fucking daughter.
Look. I'm sorry. As soon as we started talking about parties, I started thinking about college, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie, the Halloween parties when we got older got so much better because all the women were dressing totally different. It was fucking great. It was fucking great. But yes, the parties. Oh my god, they're so much better.
you're not lying, because
It was all
I
drinking.
remember.
It's all drinking.
Yeah, I remember going to Halloween parties, and I'm like, you might as well just be naked if that's the costume you're gonna wear. Like, you know, like you might as well just be naked at that point.
It was fucking awesome. I do miss that. I miss 20s college parties, drinking games, just people going wild, their first taste of freedom without their parents, the first time being away from home.
Sexy Freddy Krueger costume. You look like a burned hooker.
You don't even have to wait for Halloween anymore. You
I
can
know.
pretty much cosplay. Girls do that now, and I'm not knocking what I want to be perfectly clear in how I say this, but gamer girls do that now with cosplay, and they are making a fortune on doing that. You know, wearing these skimpy costumes, playing video games. Like Aaron said last time, they can
like
fart on a pillow.
Yeah, fart on a pillow, go into a hot tub.
Yeah. Like,
More power to them.
Do any guys do any of that? Do the cosplays or anything? Do they?
Well, they
Not
might
that
do
I
the
know
cosplays, but they're not farting on pillows or anything like that. That's just not, it's a fucking gender thing. I can't make money showing my feet on Twitch.
Yeah, it's a gender thing, and I mean, it's the same. I think there's more guys that are deviants than there are women.
Oh,
So,
yeah, 100%.
So they're just like, hey, I'll buy whatever. Like they'll buy old panties with urine stains in them if
fuck.
they can.
Oh.
I'm being for real.
If anybody's listening and likes this episode, you guys should write in your memories of Halloween, man. The bad, the good, the great, the worst. But for the most part, I think we all have really good memories of Halloween. I know I did.
It was a fantastic experience.
We should go trick-or-treating, Aaron.
Yeah. No,
I mean, right
totally.
now. We should.
Man.
What's a good Halloween costume? Like, if we were to go trick-or-treating right now, what's a good one? I never got to dress up as Jax from Mortal Kombat. I never got
That would have been good. I remember us saying it because I was like, I'll dress up as fucking Raiden or something like that. And if you go
I
with
want to still
Jax,
do that. Or can I do Falcon? I want to do Falcon. Or
I'll be Bucky.
oh, a lot of Marvel ideas.
So with the Halloween and how much was celebrated in our area, there's another day that comes before Halloween, and that is Devil's Night. It was very big back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, but this has been going on since 1940, but specifically synonymous with the Detroit, Michigan area, where fires are started. Usually it's abandoned buildings. People kind of stand around and watch it happen, and cops don't arrive for an hour to 45 minutes?
Pretty
Every
much.
fucking time?
It started
Yeah.
in the 40s. The youth of the city engaged in a night of mischief and petty criminal behavior. And then that shit escalated. In the 70s, I guess.
It got
Vietnam.
really bad. Yeah, 70s
Vietnam,
and 80s.
It just got crazy. Satanism and things associated with that got infused with that night. And it was, of course, right before Halloween. And it got so bad, the arson, the vandalism, that in 1984, again, damn, that fucking year keeps coming up. It's a great year, but it was a weird year.
I was born. Year we were born.
Yeah, we, the best year ever, but 800 fires. Fucking 100 fires.
It was, the city was on fire. What was I going to say? The Satanism thing, they said Satanism and devil worship are two separate entities. Satanism is, I think most people know, the practice of not really giving a shit, and it's pretty hip right now. There's more to it, but I don't need to explain it. Devil worship is actually worship.
Devil worship is different.
Yes.
Huh.
And the fact that these things were synonymous with Devil's Night never made any sense, because most of the time it was just arsonists. It was just people. A lot of the time, too, they caught people coming from the suburbs going downtown to just set shit on fire.
Yeah. A lot of, like you said, abandoned buildings and just, it was...
And a lot of it had to do with insurance stuff, too.
So you were saying it was under the guise of that, possibly?
So that is a conspiracy theory when it comes to that. That there was insurance policies on these places, so they burned them down or took them down, and then they were able to get the insurance money, and they couldn't prove that it was arson or whatnot. But all governments are corrupt. Detroit and Michigan in general is no different than anything else, but we're synonymous with this night of arson, specifically because I think it was the 1984 year with 800 fires, and then it just, it didn't get bigger after that, but it was still pretty big, to the point where my mom would tell my older brother, hey, you got to be home at this time.
Yeah.
Period.
No, that night was definitely way more scarier than the theme of Halloween, because it was actual fires being lit up in Detroit. And like I said, it reached the peak in the mid to late 80s with more than 800 fires set in 1984. And then late 90s, they tried to rebrand it as Angels Night, and you basically had...
that.
Yeah, you had these cars with like these security lights on it, just cruising down Detroit neighborhoods, trying to prevent fires from happening. And they were volunteers of about as many as 50,000. It was a curfew, actually, wasn't it, John?
Yeah.
It was for like teenagers. If they caught you on the street, they would detain you.
I think there's still a curfew. They won't tase you or anything, but there's still a curfew on them.
I meant detain you. Like they would
detain you. Okay. Fucking tase your ass if we see you walking.
They would take you to jail and wait for your parents to come and get you. I don't think they had to bail you out, but they would like, depending on what you had on you. Like if you had arsonist shit, then that was a whole different matter. But if you were just out during curfew, you would get detained.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's good times.
Our little slice of Americana.
A little slice of Americana.
Yeah.
Cars, Coney dogs, and Devil's Night.
Well, don't forget Domino's Farm. We got that going for us. So,
Domino's Farm.
Domino's Farm, where you can go get your
Domino's.
apple cider and pizza at a farm.
You know, you guys listening should write in your favorite Halloween experiences, man. Maybe we'll read them off during one of our podcasts. I don't know. If it sucks, we won't. But
yeah, email us. Let us know what your thoughts are on your favorite Halloween.
or any of our topics so far.
Afterschoolspecialpodcasts@gmail.com.
Shameless plug.
Yep. Or, you know what? Hashtag my favorite Halloween at Afterschool
Send us your
Special
cosplay. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Send
That'll
us
really
your
get it
CDP.
going.
I mean, your cosplay.
Yeah. Send us your cosplay.
Well, I know cosplay has been going on for a while, especially when Comic-Con comes around, which
Well, that makes sense.
I guess.
But even outside of Comic-Con, they still do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got your furries who are still walking around in their
Are they considered
outfits.
cosplay? Like, they're just fucking around,
hell
right?
Hell yeah. That's their thing.
See,
That's
now
their
I
thing.
didn't think they were cosplay. I just thought they were fucking around. That just got them off. That was like
No, that's
a fetish.
their thing, man. Like that's who they want to be is a fox
That's who they
sticking
wanna
their
be.
dick in a squirrel. So that's the truth, man. That's who they want. I mean, it's the truth. You know, I would love.
I am not laughing at you, furry. I'm
Yeah.
just in amazement.
No king shame. No king shame.
to-
Yeah, no
kink
kink
shaming.
shaming,
But write me
baby.
and tell me what your thoughts are.
no.
What is the premise?
If you want to fuck a
Yeah.
fox in the ass, go for it. Or someone that looks like a fox. Or what?
Yeah, it's Rule 69. If you can think of it, there's a porn for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to After School Special Podcast. Happy Halloween. It's August.
Oh man, they have Christmas in July.
Big shout out to Jimmy Porn. We love you.
Jimmy P.
Just a quick shout out to Detroit Land Vending. They were just on Channel 4 Action News. Again, we already shout them out before, but big support for them. They're doing big things and making big money moves.
I want to shout out the Insanely Dangerous Retro Pod Show. These guys always shout us out every Friday. Ian Bitdead is another guy who shouts us out, promotes us every Friday, so I want to shout both those guys out. The Insanely Dangerous Retro Podcast is an 80s and 90s podcast with one stoic encyclopedia and one excitable Wally. They are out of Southampton, England, so they listen to us from all the way over there, and we're listening to them here in the state. Just want to send them some love. Ian Bitdead, who promotes podcasts, I want to shout him out too. Thanks, guys, for promoting us and shouting us out, and we hope you guys hear us and know that we are sending the support back.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Spooky. Bye. Hey guys, it's Aaron. You think you could do me a big fave? Wherever you're listening to this right now, rate and subscribe. Find new episodes every Wednesday where you listen to podcasts, and look for us on all the social media sites and Gmail at Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Gmail, Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Instagram and Facebook, and AfterschoolSPE3 on Twitter. Anytime you go to an abandoned house and there's just a fucking chair anywhere that's abandoned and there's just a chair sitting there, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't go
Yeah.
near it.
I'm black, so I'm definitely not going to do that.